Hey boys and girls, welcome back to the virtual club. My name's Kayla Turner and we are going to dive right into another awesome art project. Today we're going to make an origami elephant bookmark. So here is the final product. We actually discovered when making this test one, you could either do one single page or you can do it in bulk where you cover your cover page as well as save your page slot, okay? So you can use any type of construction paper. I would say the thinner the better so that it's easy to fold. You can use white paper so you can color it later, or you can use colored paper. Today I'm going to use a combination of both. My example is white paper so that you can see clearly what that looks like. However, today I'm going to use pink construction paper. Now, if you notice, I don't have the standard 8.5 by 11. It is an 8 by 8 sheet. Very important so that your corners are evenly folded when you fold them. If you don't use an 8 by 8, this will not work. So please make sure you grab your handy dandy ruler, like I have here. This is a part of your supply list, your materials, and you measure that paper. You're gonna cut off the extra pieces. I know I also bake in an 8 by 8 pan, so if you don't have a ruler, definitely ask your mom if you could use the baking pan to measure your paper out. As always, before doing any type of projects through our virtual club, please make sure you have permission from your guardian or your parent and or supervision while doing this project. So let's get started. Step one is we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it corner to corner. All right, corner to corner. So our first step should look a little bit like this. Nice triangle, right? All we did was fold our paper corner to corner. Our next step, I'm also using blue construction paper just to show what we're doing. From this step, we're going to take that top flap and fold it down, okay? So just for visuals, you're gonna take this top front corner and you're gonna fold it down like so. Your final product should look like this. So now moving to our next step. From this, you're going to fold your corner down to the middle, like so. And you're going to crease them, okay? So we go from this step to this one, like so. When you're done with that step, it should look something like this. So now I'm gonna work from here. We're gonna unfold it again after we fold those flaps down, unfold it. And we're now going to take it, hold down this middle flap, okay? And you're gonna fold it up halfway, point to point, okay? Hold it down, fold it up. This point should be touching the very top. Make sure you crease that like so. That's one side. And now we're gonna do the other side. Corner to corner as best you can without compromising your original creases. Now you have something like this. So our first fold is that way. Then we unfolded them and we folded it up halfway, both sides. Now we're gonna take this little flap at the top and we're gonna tuck them in, okay? Now when I did my original one, it can be a little tricky if the paper doesn't wanna give. If so, just reinforce your creases, no biggie. Even if you don't feel like it came out the way you'd like it the first time, being that we're using construction paper and it's usually something really simple, just grab another one and start over. Okay, so after we tuck those flaps in, now we're left with a nice little pocket. So that's like the top half of our bookmark. And let's compare and contrast so far. Okay, And feeling this construction paper, it's actually a little bit thicker than this copy paper that I use. So definitely something to look into at home if you have an option. Use your construction paper because it's a little bit more durable than the copy paper. It's thinner. So our next step is to cut our features, which on here I have some ears and I have a trunk. Now, Miss Kayla may look like she's an expert, but trust me, I am still drawing stick figures to this day. So my trunk may not come out as pretty as you feel this one may be on my original one. But nonetheless, we're gonna use our scraps from when you originally cut your paper and you made this 8x8 sheet from your original fold. You will have some scraps that you could use to make your ears and make your trunk. Even if you want to try a few times to get that perfect desired cut. Whatever floats your boat. I think that one looks a little bit better. I like that one. I'm going to curve my snout a little bit. There we go. See, my first one, I got a little Squidward action going on there for my SpongeBob lovers, but this looks more elephant-like. So I think I'm going to use that one. And then I'm going to cut my ears. Very major key, is to cut from the edge when you're cutting these ears. You could get a little look at the back there. You see the slant? That's from the edge of my paper, which makes pasting or gluing down these ears a little bit easier. It makes them look super even, so. So I'm gonna cut some ears. And notice I'm using my entire scrap sheet. I make some mistakes. So if you're like me, you're perfectly imperfect, you definitely want to have a scrap sheet of paper. But if you're pretty accurate with making elephant ears or making a trunk, like I said, use the scraps from your original cut piece of paper so that you're saving. Okay, now I'm going to take my originally cut ear and I'm going to place it down as a bit of a guide, so that both of my ears look the same. We definitely don't want crazy looking ears unless you're making a super creative elephant. Definitely don't want to discourage you to make different looking ears. This is literally just a blueprint on how you can make one. So, moving on my little scraps. Now I have 2 ears. Boom. Look at that. So, going back to my reference and back to our folded origami so far, we're going to start pasting, which brings in our next supply of glue stick, okay? If you have regular Elmer's glue, if you have a glue gun, whatever you have readily available, even if you have tape, you know, go for it. Whatever works best for you. If you don't have a glue stick, use that as your adhesion. So all I'm gonna do is make sure I turn it this way. This is the way that you want it facing. You don't want to glue it on this way, okay? This way. And I'm going to take a little bit of the stick, lightly brush the thickest part of that. Oh, got a little bit of glue on the other side, no biggie. Wipe that off. Like so. Tip of my trunk, don't need to go glue crazy. And right in the center, maybe about a fingertip up. Actually, I like mine tilted down a little bit more. And I feel like I want to reapply a little bit more just to be safe. So maybe that whole bulk area would be a little bit more appropriate. Okay. Press down, away from the middle. Really get that trunk on there real nice. Boom. Our trunk is complete. And then, like I was telling everyone, to use that straight edge part to guide you on how you're going to apply your ears. So from your view, you want to place one there, take your other one, place one there. All right, now we're going to glue them. Now on glue application for your ears, you definitely want to be careful, because too much on it and you push those ears down, you won't really get to see the full effect of the elephant ear. So you definitely want to make sure you're not as generous on the glue as you were on the trunk, okay? And you can see it from both sides, that little bit of strip, that's all you need. Nice glue application, put that on there, smooth it down. And we're gonna do the same thing like so with our other ear. Oh, I did have it on the right side, there we go. Maybe I should do it this way to assure I'm not gluing mine incorrectly. There we go. And then I just smooth it on out. Update, look at that original one. Okay. Now, the next step on your supply list, next thing to have is a marker. Yesterday for this, I used a Sharpie to make these, but if you don't have a Sharpie, you can definitely use, for my teachers in the house, you can use your Expo markers, or you can use a regular standard washable, this one's Crayola, but Crayola, Rose Art, any brand will do, as long as it's black to start off with. And then we're going to start with, it doesn't matter, we'll do our ears. Let's do our ears first. Just draw a nice little line along the edge of the ears. Consistency is key, so try not to stop while you're drawing the line, but if you do, it's fine. I know for my younger ones, you may end up stopping. I know I did my first go around. So boom, look at the ears. All we did was draw a line along the outside of the ear. Now let's do our trunk. So for the trunk, all we simply are gonna do is apply 4 little curved lines from the top, excuse me, near the top of the trunk, going down. Oh, these lines are a little suspicious, but that's the beauty of art. You know, it gives you the creativity to express. No, these are really suspicious though. Once again, reinforcement is totally okay. If you make a mistake, it's fine because it's yours. And if you're giving it to someone, they'll appreciate your creativity. Now we're gonna move on to the last lovely, lovely part of our elephant bookmarks, and that's the eyes. If you have googly eyes, oh man, that's awesome, use them. And if not, that's okay too. Now using the centerfold as your guide, you definitely, I just start making a small dot and circling my way out, okay? The first one's easy, because that's your reference. It's the second one that you want to try to match to that first one. If you have a supply of googly eyes, you could also use those as well. Instead of drawing your eyes on, you can paste them on. I think I'm gonna add another curve on this one. just to show you that you can be different. Doesn't have to be exactly like Miss Kayla's first one. And there you are, your elephant bookmark origami. And I want to show you with a book. Take that first page. Let's just say we're only a couple pages in. Gather your pages and you take the flap on your bookmark. You slot the pages in there so that the corner of your origami rests on the page, and voila, there you have it. All right, let's go through our supply list one more time so that you make sure that you have everything that you need to do this project yourself. Again, you can use a black Sharpie marker, or you could use a black Expo or black marker from your standard marker box. You could use a ruler to measure your paper if you start with an 8.5 by 11 paper. You also need to have a pair of scissors handy. Safety scissors, of course, if you are not of age to use the sharp ones. Definitely ask for supervision while you're using the scissors, or ask someone to measure them for you to assure that you got the right measurements. A glue stick is definitely important, but if you don't have a glue stick, use tape or use a glue stick, use regular white glue. All of those things are fine as long as you have that application that you can paste your things to your art project. I believe we covered everything. I hope this was straightforward for you. I hope you had a great time. Again, my name is Kayla Turner, and thanks for joining us on our virtual art club.